What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be doing something awesome. We're going to be taking that 1970 Skylark. We just took 2,500 miles on what is definitely the most epic road trip I have ever taken. And there was some moments where I was worried we weren't going to be making it home. But hey, listen, guys, it was so awesome that we got to treat this car 100% like right. And I am looking at this car right now, and I am so pumped up because we're going to take the car from this to this. And on the last night of driving at 1 o'clock in the morning, I had been driving since 5 a.m. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, I was thinking, what do we call this car? The car that it just wouldn't stop. It kept fighting for every mile that it was going. And even when the alternator stopped charging, we lost the fan belt, it took the HEI out, it did all of this damage. I was just thinking, what is faded, tattered, but has a good foundation and never gives up, and is red, white, and blue? Guys, I want you to meet Old Glory. This thing, there are 4 cars in my driveway. Like, I will never ever sell the 2006 Wrangler. That was my dad's, and I look forward to getting that back together so we can take it out on off-road and stuff like that. I mean, it drives, but I mean off-road. But there are 4 cars that I have absolutely fell head over heels with, and that, of course, being the 1963 Cadillac Coupe de Ville that we pulled out of a pole barn that had sat for 30 years, yet is so pristine. Still kind of smells a little bit, so we're gonna have to replace the carpeting and stuff like that. I sold that to my 3-year-old daughter for $3, so that car will stay in the family for the next 50, 60 years. Who knows? Whether it was the satellite that we pulled out of the grave and replaced the driver's side frame rail, torsion bar cross member. We did so much work to that. It's getting a 440 this year, but it still tracks straight, and it's a great car, and I really look forward to having a real power plant that just is 440 big block. Whether it's this I know a lot of you guys aren't really JDM import kind of people, but this 1989 Toyota Supra has been with me for 12 years, and it's got that wild 1UZ in it, and we're going to be taking that on a couple of really cool road trips. Or this new to us 1970 Skylark with all of the fixings. I mean, this thing is absolutely stunning. I'm going to go through the process of how I did the boiled linseed and mineral spirit combination. But this hood with it just makes it pop. It makes it look so freaking awesome. The GS grill is out of my GS, and even though the GS that was from up here spent 40 years in a really bad situation, and it's just, I'm happy to be able to have a tribute to that car. And this car has taken on a character and life of its own, and I'm so glad we went from Project Theus, like the ship of Theus, or however you would pronounce it, where if you change everything in it, is it really the same car? And really, no. The answer is no. But we have this guy right here, which I have such a bond with now. It is such a great car, and I'm really looking forward to doing the work on it, getting the 455 in here and making this thing absolutely killer. There's probably just stuff laying on the back of the truck. What's that? Put that back of the truck? No, I'll bring it inside later. I'll store it with the other ones. This will be a nice wall hanger. It's not pretty, but it's straight. It is pretty. What do you mean? Get that. This, don't want to mess up. Okay. The next step on this is to clean up the actual car itself. Give it a good bath. Now, we're going to do that now, so it gives it time to dry while we replace the bumper. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go ahead and black these out. I kind of like the look of just having that blacked out and these chrome, but I'm probably going to just spray them. I have a whole nother set of them, same color and everything, so if I don't like it, I'll just swap them out. Anyways, so very first thing we're going to do is give it a bath. Dawn dish soap, I don't know, 1 squirt to a bucket of water. You don't need a lot of soap, but don't use this stuff if you're worried about removing, the wax finishing on your car, stuff like that. This will strip everything. And then once we're using that, we're also going to use some good old-fashioned Comet. We're going to give this thing a Comet bath. That will help be our abrasive here and get this thing cleaned up pretty nicely. And it'll also kind of it will make it a lot more regular. Now, this area right here, we might break out a green Scotch-Brite for, because this is off of our GS, and this hood is very patinaed. So we may have to break out the Scotch-Brite for this. That'll be a little bit more aggressive than here. Over here, you can see I'm going to use a spray bottle as a applicator. This is going to be sacrificial, so yeah, expect this to get ruined in this process. But 1 to 4, so 1 part to 4 parts of boiled linseed oil, mineral oil, spirit, and mineral spirit, and boiled linseed. That will allow it to just go on a little bit more even, so you don't have that, that whole globular look to it. Not that this thing is, but hey, we're trying to make this thing look as good as possible. I don't know how much of this is still on here, so we don't want to go ahead and burn through this primer. That's why we're going to go with the Comet over a green Scotch-Brite. But this guy right here, this is burnt all the way down to steel in some spots. It's amazing that it's in as good condition as it is, because this thing sat out in, covered with a tarp since the 70s. It has been inside my house since we pulled apart the old GS, but we'll just clean this thing up with a green Scotch-Brite. Comet I don't think will be enough for this guy, but it'll be really, it was the same color as this one was originally, so I think that's pretty cool. But the grill unfortunately is in very rough shape. We will be picking up another one of these grills down at the old BuickParts.com or Cars LLC, because he actually has new as well as old stock. We're going to go with new because that's a little bit less expensive and that's all we need. But for now, we're just going to black it out. Eventually, we'll have a nice brand new one. This one is, this is all epoxy resin holding this together. Zip ties to at least make it look like it's not obliterated down through there. This grill has seen better days. And I just painted the GS black because it looked like crap. It's the original emblem, but if you're mad about it, listen, it looked like crap. So, and this isn't a GS, but it's cool to have it on there. Is an homage to my old one. I think that's the term. I don't know. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this thing started to be cleaned. You can see the color of the primer transferring. So it isn't abrasive. You have to remember this. You can't do this all the time. You can't constantly do it. Not good. Alright guys, now that we have this all cleaned up and a little bit more of the patina showing through, the heavy rust off of the hood, it's time to put the preservative on. That is the boiled linseed oil mixed with the mineral spirits. I keep wanting to call it mineral oil. Mineral spirits. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and put a nice, fairly thin coat on it, just to kind of protect it. It works really well on tools as well. I really love this material, this combination. The reason why I cut it with the mineral spirits, I think I said a little bit earlier, is, wow, the mosquitoes are coming out in force. The reason why we do that is to just make it spread a lot more even. I like to squirt it. I don't know what that is. I like to squirt it, as well as you could also rub it on with a rag, but we're not going to do it that way. Next thing, as you can see, it's more even too. You know, there still is a little bit of just weird stuff going on with the primer. Fun note, this is actually a gold fender, and we already knew this was a gold door, so most likely a little bit of damage on the quarter panel there, little tiny bit of a ding. So I wonder if they hit something on this side. We do have the bumper off my GS on here now. That looks a lot more straight. It is so much better. The bezels are all kinds of boogered up, so I need to get the standoffs for those. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to, I think I'm going to keep them chrome. I don't think I'm going to paint them. I think it looks good. I think I need to go around certain parts of the grill with a silver Sharpie marker, but we're going to be replacing this grill anyway, so not a big deal. But anyways, time to go ahead, mix it up, throw it on there. All right, so we're going to do 1:4 ratio here, or 4:1 ratio. Try not making too much of a mess. While we're mixing this up, it's come to my attention via YouTube that less than 20% of you guys are subscribed. If you're interested in supporting the channel, hit that subscribe button. It helps immensely. That was the word I'm looking for. Also, we have the brand new merch for this, which Jonathan over at Blacktop Yacht Club did a phenomenal job on it. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, phenomenal quality. Now, we got our mixture together. Keep the bugs out of it. Works really good for hanging your axe heads or stuff like that if you put a new handle on. Boiled linseed oil. You don't have to mix that up though, just go straight. Pro tip, if you're, they're just terrible today. If you're hanging a new axe head and you want to preserve your handle, for the first week, just put a little bit of boiled linseed oil on it every day. Then once a week for a month, and once a month for about 3 months, and then once a year. That axe handle should never fail you. Don't ever soak them in water because that just swells them up. And then eventually it damages the wood. And then it just falls off. We want it more like a mist, like so. We're going to just do a gentle mist. You see where it went on heavy? We're going to then use our rag, and we're just going to gently rub it on the surface. I'm kind of rushing myself. Normally I like to make the rag a square. Use the microfiber side. And then once you have a nice consistency, you're going to move it in one direction. Like you're prepping paint. At least that's how I do it. Alright guys, it is looking fantastic as you can see. Once you get to a certain point when you're wiping one direction, you go through with a nice clean dry rag and you're going to lightly wax on, wax off kind of. You know, we're not putting it in, we're not taking it off. We're just trying to give it a nice even flow to the coat, which kind of makes it look like a gloss coat. Not 100%, but it definitely brings out the colors in this hood, and it will protect it. It is something that we're going to have to go ahead and reapply on occasions. Make sure all your cloths that you use, man, the mosquitoes are horrible today, but once you just get rid of all of your cloths. They are flammable, highly flammable, so smart stuff with it. Don't just leave it next to your wood stove, that type of thing. But it's fantastic. We're gonna have some rain tomorrow, so we'll see how it holds up, but then we'll have a couple nice days after that. We'll come back out and we'll just revisit it, and if it needs another coat, we'll do another coat. But right now it looks really, really awesome, really spectacular. And then I've decided we're going to keep the bezels chrome. I think overall, I think it's appropriate for this car. I think if we blacked that out, it wouldn't look right. And again, we'll get the new grille and it will finish the chrome bit to it. And I am going to keep the GS blacked out on the actual grille itself. Again, it's not a real GS. It's more of a shadow of the GS that rotted out. So, I think it looks fantastic. We have a nice straight bumper on it now. The GS hood is just truly killer. So again, if you're planning on painting a car, I would highly recommend avoid doing this, but I'm planning on keeping this car exactly how we have it. So this way, and the Northeast, when we have rain and stuff like that, until we get it in a garage, which hopefully will be late this year, May or something. So that's not really late this year. You know what I mean. But Yeah, oh man, it looks so good, guys. It looks so good. What a transformation. Absolutely killer. Next step is we have to go ahead, take this windshield out. We're going to replace the dash as well as part of the cowl. The rest of the cowl looks good, so just this section right here, hopefully that's all it needs. And then once that's in there, we can start doing some repairs to the door. So we open up this door, there's some pretty rough rot right here, but that's an easy repair. The rest of it is solid shape. We just need to go through, vacuum it out, clean it, and then we'll put some noise dampening between us and the outside. We gotta go through, clean the floor pan. We have like an 8-inch rust hole or crack, I guess, more like a line on the passenger side, which we have to repair. After that, that will get the isolator as well, isolate the firewall from us. We're gonna make this thing a comfortable driver. Eventually we'll do the same thing as we're doing with the Supra, which is a standalone air conditioning unit, something that's not on the engine, something we can hide, something that can keep us cool but not be a parasitic loss. So guys, this thing is just killer, absolutely killer. I'm so glad we got this done today. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoy this new project. Again, if you're looking to support the channel, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and we have that awesome line of t-shirts over at Blacktop Yacht Club with our awesome, oh yeah, I have to do a little quick montage right now. So yeah. Anyways, so if you like Old Glory and you want to support the channel, hit that subscribe button again, hit that thumbs up. Head over, pick up some beautiful merchandise put together by Jonathan over at Blacktop Yacht Club. And until next time, remember, as always, keep her shiny side up, and God bless.